Sampotes. The bloody Sampotes. I always wanted to make this work. It is a lovely mace that was released with Deviri, and it has a very unique effect on its slams. It sends out lines of shockwaves that do damage and ragdoll enemies into the sky. And it sends out either one line of shockwaves if you do a light slam, or 3 lines of shockwaves in a cone in front of you if you do a heavy slam. The issue here is that it suffers from the same thing that most if not all special slam attacks suffer from. It's not slam damage. It's slam radio damage. And slam radio damage is by far the worst kind of damage to try and scale, because the only things that affect slam radio damage are mods that specifically say they affect slam damage, faction damage, which includes Rhino's Roar, and some Warframe buff abilities like Eclipse. That's it. Now that's already pretty bad. But it gets worse. The lines from Sampotes seem to do pure blast damage, which is not a great damage type to begin with, but it also means that you can't use mods like Shattering Impact to strip enemy armor with it. I've tested a bunch of mods and arcanes and everything basically on the Sampotes to try and make it work, and outside of the mods that directly affect the slam radio damage, the only mod that actually seems to work and trigger off of the lines is Life Strike, so at least you can heal yourself with it. And that's still not everything, because with other weapons you can at least reliably lift enemies with heavy attacks, but with the Sampotes... Someone should put up train signals in here. But not with the Sampotes. No, that'd be far too simple. The Sampotes, the lines from Sampotes that is, ragdoll enemies, they don't lift. So you can't use a lifted either. But even with all of that, I was determined to just make it work. And I did. It's not gonna be meta anytime soon, but it works. Kind of, sort of, sometimes. Behold, the most ridiculous melee build you have ever seen. Now, I know you can't tell, but I am shaking my head. And I'm the one that made it! We have Life Strike for some healing, because, I mean, you might as well. What else are you gonna put on? Then we have Seismic Wave for slam damage. This actually increases the damage of the shockwaves. Quickening and Primed Fury are here because attack speed affects the speed at which you recover from a heavy slam, so you get off the ground faster so you can slam again. And then we just have all 4 Smite mods, because there is nothing else we can put on, and Smite mods increase the damage of the shockwaves. Also, the only arcane that works or you can trigger with this is Melee Fortification, and if you hit something directly, you might get some movement speed from this. However, there is one more thing we can do, and that is to use the Niras set. This is an Archon set that increases your slam damage through the set bonus. Now, why only use 2 and not all 3? Well, because as if this wasn't bad enough, the third one is exclusive to whips. Now, one thing that does work with the shockwaves is viral damage, because viral damage increases damage taken to flesh and it's a debuff on the enemy, so that will increase the damage, so get a pet that can proc viral. And if you're gonna use this against armored units, first of all, why do you do this to yourself? And second of all, get armor strip, because armor absolutely kills this. Now, would it perhaps be better to scale the weapon for the actual slam damage instead of just the shockwaves? Yes. But is that what cowards do? Also yes. Though with that said, I did cheat a little bit. Breed Search is a fun little ability that you can get on Wisp or by sacrificing Wisp to the chair and then subsuming it onto whatever Warframe you want, that marks enemies and makes those enemies send out an aggressive homing Wisp that does damage whenever they are hit. And even though the shockwaves on Sampotes are bad at, well, everything, the one thing they're good at is hitting things a lot. When you combo the Sampotes shockwaves with Breed Search, you can actually use this setup in Infested Steel Path. And if you time it right, you can even nuke acolytes with it. It's hilarious. Now, it does take a bit of getting used to, but it's super fun and very safe, because we have Life Strike, so we're constantly healing, and we have Melee Fortification, so we have loads of extra armor. You have no idea how happy I am that this actually works. It's immeasurably stupid, but very fun. You could almost say that it's dumb fun, perhaps. So try it out. It's stupid, it's really stupid, but it's also really fun. And that's all that matters. You could even make it stronger by running Primed Smite mods, though if you're gonna do that, run one at a time, not all at once. And you would also get a Riven, though I don't think Rivens can roll slam damage, so you just be looking for as much faction damage as possible. But anyway, that's pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching as always, guys, and I would like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.